Hi there, I'm Hayden Crawford from numerologist.com and I'm a wellness coach specialising in colour therapy. Now today I'm going to be revealing which flower essences you can use to rebalance your endocrine glands and your chakras. These simple tips will help you to feel amazing both mentally, emotionally, spiritually and even physically. Okay, so let's start off at the root chakra, which sits at the base of the spine, and work our way upwards, shall we? Okay, so in the colour mirrors system, this bottle represents the base or the root chakra. Now it's red with coral on top, and the purpose of this energy centre is for life force. Now, issues that can arise within this energy centre are issues really of survival. When this energy centre is excessive, we can be greedy, we can feel sluggish, and we can also hoard. And when it's deficient, we can feel fear, or we can feel spaced out or restless. Now, the flower essences that we can use to rebalance this energy centre, and obviously the endocrine system, the glands associated with it, which are the ovaries and the gonads, are these flower essences here. So you've got the she oak. Now the she oak is an Australian bush flower, and I always recommend that if you live in Australia, then take the Australian bush flower essences. Now if you live in Europe, maybe you might want to try using the Bach flower essences, or there are other ones through various different locations around the world. Now the she oak is the main flower essences for rebalancing the ovaries. So in the doctrine of signatures, which is the way that the flower communicates with us, it is shaped a bit like an ovary, the shape of the bud there, and then you've got the red flower sort of bursting open. So it balances and centers women. Okay, so it's a brilliant one for helping with the ovaries. You could also use the flannel flower as well. Now again, it's got very, very soft petals, this one, almost like a flannel, so it helps bring intimacy back into relationships and the enjoyment of intimacy too. So it's a very physical experience. Remember, the base chakra is red. Red is a physical colour. It's about activity, energy, mobility, taking action. Okay, so those are the flower essences that you can use if you're feeling any of those symptoms. Okay, so the sacral chakra sits above the base chakra in between the coccyx and the navel, and it's traditionally orange in colour. Now in the colour mirrors system, this bottle represents it, so it's orange underneath with gold on top. Now this one governs the lymphatic system, and the purpose of it is mastery of the material world, and problems that can arise within this energy centre are to do with emotions and sexuality. Now, when it's excessive, the person can be displaying, poor boundaries or obsessive attachments, or, being a little bit overly flirtatious, or emotions can be slightly out of control. Now, when it's deficient, you can feel rigid or stuck or feel impotent. Now, these are some common problems that can come up with that. Now, the best flower essences to deal with those issues are the she oak comes up again, because obviously the she oak is connected with the ovaries, but also this one as well. Now this one's called the turkey bush. Now remember that this governs the creativity as well as sexuality, this centre. Now the turkey bush looks like a painter's palette, doesn't it? It inspires creativity, so it can really start to activate the lymphatic system and help with that beautiful creative flow again. And the pleasure centre can be activated, so the fear from that centre can be diminished incredibly. The solar plexus sits at the belly button and governs the adrenal glands. It's this colour in the colour mirrors system, so it's beautiful yellow with olive green on top. Now the purpose of the solar plexus is power, and issues that can come up with this are personal power and fear. When it's excessive, people can display domineering, controlling, even aggressive characteristics, and when it's deficient, it can be passive, low self-esteem and fear as well. Now the flower essences that I would recommend for that one, and the main one for rebalancing the adrenal glands, is the macrocarpa. You can see this one's for personal power, and it also increases enthusiasm for anyone who's kind of feeling a little bit sluggish or worn out. The other one that you could use is the Black-Eyed Susan. Now this one is for patience and slowing down, all right? So it's a really great one just in case that you're burning your adrenals out. So it just reminds you to take things a little bit more easily and regain your personal power. The heart chakra sits at the center of the chest and governs the thymus gland. Now in the colour mirrors system, it's represented by this bottle, which is beautiful green at the bottom with turquoise on top. Now the purpose of the heart chakra is love, and the problems that can arise within this center are issues with creating from the heart. When it's excessive, somebody can display sort of poor boundaries, or they can be jealous or possessive. Now, if it's deficient, they can be shy, lonely, and isolated as well. And even resentment can come up there too. To rebalance that, we can use the Illawarra flame tree, which is the main flower essence for rebalancing the thymus gland. Now, this is an amazing, beautiful flower which really works on self-acceptance and self-approval, which is essential for you to be able to allow in more love, because you've got to love yourself first, but also dealing with that fear of rejection. You could also use the Southern Cross. Now, this one's for taking responsibility and personal power, so you could actually use this one as well for the solar plexus, obviously the solar plexus being about personal power. So utilizing the energy frequencies of those flower essences are going to allow you to open your heart so you can start to allow in a lot more love into your life. The throat chakra obviously lives here in the neck and governs the thyroid gland. Now in the colour mirrors system, this one's represented by this beautiful bottle, so that's blue at the bottom with a beautiful royal blue on top. Now, the purpose of the throat chakra is for expression, and issues that can arise within this center are willpower and expression. When it's excessive, the throat chakra really can display signs such as stuttering or an inability to listen, or even excessive talking. When it's deficient, people can really struggle to have their voice heard. And they might also, just really have difficulties formulating sentences and things like that. They might also just be very quiet. Now, to be able to rebalance those things, you can use these beautiful flower essences. Now, the Old Man Banksia is fantastic for the rebalancing of the thyroid glands. Now, this one is often associated with people who've got sort of low energy levels. They're feeling wary, sluggish, lack of enthusiasm, issues that can arise when the thyroid's out of balance, either overactive or underactive. You could also use the bush fuchsia, which is great as well, for that's clarity and integration of information and clarity of speech. So it really helps people that are trying to really project their voices when doing any public speaking, or just generally trying to get the words out. You could also use the Southern Cross again for personal power and taking responsibility. So they're amazing essences again, just for giving you that boost so that you can create and be authentic with your communication and start speaking your spirit. The third eye chakra sits right in between your eyes and governs the pituitary gland. Now, in the colour mirrors system, it's represented by this bottle, which is deep royal blue on the bottom with violet on top. Now, the purpose of the third eye center is for inspiration, and issues that can come up with it are with regards to your intuition. When it's excessive, people can have nightmares, they can have headaches or difficulties concentrating, and when it's deficient, then they can really have issues with poor imagination or a poor vision, or even denial can come up with that as well. Now, to rebalance the pituitary gland, you can use this one as the main one. Actually, it's the yellow cowslip orchid, which is really a fantastic flower essence for anyone who's displaying signs of being bitter or critical. You could also use this one as well, which is a very sort of beautiful indigo blue colour. It's called the Angel's Sword or Angel's Word. And this is for clear and concise spiritual discernment. So it helps you, receive the information and be able to translate it so that it can be easily understood to whoever is receiving it. And finally, the crown chakra sits right at the top of the head and governs the pineal gland. Now it's represented by this bottle in the colour mirrors system, which is gorgeous violet at the bottom with magenta on the top. Now the purpose of the crown chakra is for, to bring in light, and the issues that can arise with it are always sort of centered around your life purpose and what you're actually here for. When it's excessive, people can display signs of like confusion or spiritual addiction, or even being overly intellectual. And if it's deficient, it can cause sorts of issues that are around, spiritual skepticism or learning difficulties, and even materialism as well. Now, to rebalance that, the main flower essence is the bush iris. This is for rebalancing the pineal gland. Okay, now this one helps with the acceptance of death as well, and is amazing. It really deepens your spirituality. And finally, the red lily is an amazing one. Now this one opens the crown chakra, but it also keeps you spiritually grounded so that you don't kind of drift off into the cosmos. Well look, I hope you enjoyed learning all about which flower essences that you can use to rebalance your endocrine system and your energy centers or your chakras. I'll be back next week with some more colourful insights. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.